Hello and welcome to the 183rd episode of the Game Out Loud podcast. I am your host this week, again, Jordan Rusnak, but you probably don't know that because we need to make an apology. Last week, our audio was fucked. Like, it was straight up not usable. So those of you who watched us on YouTube, you're a saint and a patron and amazing. But unfortunately, we're going to skip an episode, I know, on the feed. But hey, you know, I'd rather spare you guys some bleeding eardrums than what we put out, unfortunately. So now you just have only minor bleeding because we have a new guest this week, and his name is R. Alex. We found you on the Reddits, I believe. And yeah, go ahead and say hi. This is your Game Out Loud debut.
Hi, I'm R. Alex. This is my Game Out Loud debut.
Sweet. It's almost like you had coaching on that.
Almost.
Awesome. Well, where can people find you, and what do you do, Alex?
I do a lot of more hardcore strategy gaming on the YouTubes, like really in-depth, really obtuse strategy gaming. Do a little bit of criticism here and there, but it's mostly just me ranting about games that you basically need to pound your head against the wall in order to have fun. I don't know why I enjoy that sort of thing, but hey, you can find me at youtube.com/C/OUR_ALEX. Nice and easy.
Awesome. Well, someone else who likes to ram his head against things repeatedly, Rob Peterson, is also here.
It is. You guys caught me like right after I finished that. So, you know, excuse me if I'm a little loopy, but, you know, I can't put my one hobby aside for my other hobby, which is video game podcasting. So,
Rob, I did say we can
do?
cuss. You cannot concuss on the podcast. Please, let's leave that outside of this realm of awesomeness.
I usually do both those things at the same time.
I think I would too, actually, if that push came to shove.
That's right.
And, of course, that dastardly Dylan himself, Dylan Smith.
Indeed. What's up, man?
Man, I thought you were going to lose that Fu Manchu, bro.
It's a possibility still. I'm getting more and more tired of eating my own facial hair. Every bite I take, it sucks.
You're just training for when you get a girlfriend, bro.
No. See, my name is not Stanley. My
Dude,
name
it's
is
all
Dylan.
good until you cough up a hairball.
Right?
Oh, man. I love to point out the fact that the way the sausage works here, listeners, is that you guys can see me, they cannot. So I can be doing a million things and waving to Dylan and showing him things that he'll never see, but you, listener and viewer now, will see. Yes, that's what you would look like if you saw what I was trying to show you, Dylan. It's amazing what I'm doing right now. It would change your world. It would change your mind. It would do everything amazingly. But there's other things that do that, which are these little things we call, what the fuck was that? Oh, video podcasts. Well, I think we're going to follow the standard protocol of having our guest go first, and let's see what he's been pounding his head against this week.
Well, I found a recently released, for you guys, I tried to find a semi-recently released hardcore-ish strategy game. It's called Nobunagas Ambition. I don't know if you guys have done anything with the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series. It's pretty big in China. You know, the whole Warring States period in Japan. Mm-hmm. It's based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms rule set, but in Japan during, you know, Oda Nobunaga's time and Tokugawa and all that stuff. So basically, pretend it's Japan Total War, but actual, you know, realism is involved to a certain extent. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's not actually up on the channel yet, but the first episode should go out on Thursday, I believe. So that's what I've been doing recently. And I've been trolling Reddit, trolling the forums, and seeing what's new.
So when you say hardcore strategy, what style should I be imagining? RTS? Should I be looking at these? Are you playing like real-time simulators, or what are you doing here?
To a certain extent. Most of what's on my channel right now is a game called Hearts of Iron.
So you know who makes that? That's
Paradox.
Paradox, yeah. Are you a Crusader Kings fan?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I love Crusader Kings too. Like, if you go back, I talk about that all the time. Sengoku, like, I love all their stuff.
You interviewed them, didn't you, Jordan?
Yeah, I talked to the lead the lead director on Crusader Kings 2, Henrik Freyas.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was nice guy, fun guy to talk to.
They're really awesome over there at Paradox. So yeah, basically imagine if Crusader Kings 2 modeled everything on an hourly basis, but instead of controlling your characters, you controlled the individual army divisions and the supply lines and the ships that transport them, and it's geopolitical simulator and all that stuff. But the time scale is every hour, so it's technically a turn-based game, but the turns can go by in a flash, or you can slow down to an absolute crawl.
Awesome. I'll have to take a look at that because I like their grand strategy stuff.
They made Hearts of Iron before they got good at the user interface.
So I'm not going to check that out. Thanks for warning me, because Paradox is not known for having the most easy to use UI. And if they, Dylan, how hard did you bounce off that game when I tried to show you that? Fucking like a rubber ball against stone, man.
Yeah. I was like, so, back to Battlefield 4, right?
Hell, I watched 9 hours of tutorials just to figure out how to interact with that game. And it's such a good game when you get down to it. Like, it is such a fantastic strategy game. And, oh my God, I tried to get so many people to play it, but it takes so much investment to learn. What's up?
Well, I was going to say, I've been wanting to do that again, and we've tried to, but you're right with what I think you're about to say. Is it's such an investment?
It is, and I don't have the time. Now, if you want to hit Chris up, dude, Chris is way better at that game than I am. Like, I would go and watch Chris for hours play that game because he would have it down. And the best we'd come up with the best narratives coming out of there. Oh, this guy's, or like my daughter's gonna try to inherit my kingdom, so we're gonna marry her off to this guy, but then she ends up coming back and taking me out because she allied with all my enemies. It's such a good game, and I was actually gonna suggest those styles of games to you if you hadn't played those. So that's really funny that you're literally playing from the developer that I was going to recommend.
Yeah, no, Paradox is fantastic, and in terms of narrative, they're right up there. That's really the reason you play those games, because of the stories. If you go on Paradox's forums, every single one of their games has a separate after-action report forum where players just come on and share pictures and share the stories of the games that they play. And sometimes that's a lot more fun than actually playing the game. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's just really cool to see what I guess you could call them simulations, but what these simulations allow you to do, allow you to accomplish. And sometimes losing is fun, Capital FUN from Dwarf Fortress. Losing is fun.
Oh yeah, I mean my first successful understanding full playthrough of Crusader Kings 2, I lost because I had expanded too quickly and someone got really, really pissed. And I was great. I had like 6 kids. Everything was going well. Then all of a sudden my spy master turned on me. All my kids died and I was too late to make another heir, so my reign ended.
I mean, I know they made the Game of Thrones mod for that, but it makes perfect sense because whenever Jordan would tell me his stories of playing this game, I'd be like, did George R.R. Martin write this? It's like tightly plotted and it's just completely emergent, totally unplanned, just systems interacting. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Have you played that mod?
Yeah, the Game of Thrones one. I played it a couple expansions ago. Paradox has a tendency to charge an additional $30 every 6 months or so. And sometimes you just don't want to keep up, Sometimes you're having enough fun with the game as it is.
Well, or they don't add anything meaningful. Right. A lot of their major updates I find actually add some sort of cool mechanic or something like that. But the last one I just didn't care about. Like,
are you talking Conclave, the infamy mechanic they stole from EU4 and added it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, so you play Europa Universalis as well?
I'm like, the erection I get from Paradox is humongous.
Gotcha. It is a paradoxical erection.
Yes. So yeah, basically, I've tried every one of their games since Hearts of Iron 3 came out. And that's the one that really got me hooked, and that's the one that I invest most of my time into. But yeah, I am going to be the first one to acknowledge that they did a very piss poor job with the user interface for that. But with Conclave, I think that their most recent expansion, what they wanted to do was prevent exactly what you were talking about earlier, how you had this big, massive empire, and the only way you could lose at that point is being taken down from within. And people were finding it way too easy to just snowball out of control and conquer the entire world, as starting from a one province minor in Ireland,
Yep. With the Duchy of Munster. Yep.
Right. So the idea with Conclave was when you did an offensive action, you got an infamy point, and everyone in the world saw your infamy points, and looked at you worse the more infamy points you had. It's led to some interesting situations where a civil war would break out in your nation, and the simple act of ending the civil war and reconquering, I suppose you could call it, all the land that was previously yours would earn you gads of infamy points, and all of a sudden the entire world hated you because you ended a civil war. So it's, I don't know, there's a lot of balancing that needs to be done, and especially in a game as complex as what they create, one little thing out of balance just causes everything to fall down.
Oh yeah, but it's still so great. Like, oh, I love that game so much. I just don't have the time to play it.
Yeah, if you need a time sink.
Yeah, Crusader Kings. Just the ramp up to Crusader Kings is a time sink.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you need to subscribe to a subreddit and watch 9 hours of YouTube videos and suffer through the actual in-game tutorial before you're ready to kind of start. So
sounds about right.
But it is cool. I mean, what I played of it was really awesome, and it's impressive just how much stuff you can do in those kind of games. And that's kind of why I avoid them. It's because I know I'd become addicted to them because they're fucking awesome. And I mean, they really are. They offer so many possibilities and so much complexity and so much stuff to sink your teeth into. There's unlimited adventures to be had.
Right. And you can start like in any time, like, you know, to where it ends. You can go from like all the way back to like right when AD started all the way up through and then start. It's amazing. Like the political systems change, the rulers change. I love that game. All right, you guys continue this. I'm just gonna go play Crusader Kings 2. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, Rob, if you can take over with what you've been playing, I would appreciate that. I'll check you guys later.
Okay. See you, Jordan.
Later.
The Year of the RPG continues. I won't spend too much time on that until I switch games. So almost done with Pillars of Eternity. Plugging away through the White March Part 1 expansion. I think I'm almost done with that. Then I've got the White March Part 2. Basically, at this point, it's a long fucking game. So that's why it's taken me a month, and I still have another week or two before I finally wrap it up. But it's really good. Really good. So definitely scratching that Baldur's Gate itch there. The other thing I want to show you guys, let me grab it here.
Whoa. Hey,
Whoa.
Just because this is a video podcast, Rob.
I know, I can get away with a lot more. So, this showed up.
What is
not the Oculus, but this device attached to it on the front.
Oh, yes, I want that so bad.
Yeah, that is a Leap Motion.
Now, is that coming with that when you send it my way?
I'll leave the mount on it, so you'll just need to buy the sensor. Because
Okay.
I need to buy a new one. It sticks to it permanently. I mean, you can remove it if you want to, but it's not something that just like pops on and off. So what that is basically a Kinect for your hands. And it's been out for a few years. The reviews came out. It sucked. I skipped it. You know,
Same here,
everyone
actually.
said,
I was watching that like a hawk when it first came out.
yeah, it looked really cool. It's a really good looking gesture system, but the reality didn't live up to the promotional materials until a few weeks ago. They released what's called the Orion Update, which was a completely from the ground up software rewrite. And suddenly it worked. You would turn your hands and they would actually turn and not like flip sideways and contort and freak out. So this was made specifically for VR. So you mount it to the front of your Oculus, and whenever your hands are in view, even before I calibrated anything, I put it on, looked at my hands, there they were, mapped in 3D space. And you can interact with objects. You can create blocks, like you pinch your fingers together and make stuff, and you can build little pyramids and knock them over. I mean, it is bleeding edge shit. And everyone I've shown it to is completely blown away. So I don't want to say it's perfect. You can still make it mess up, especially like during the daytime, or if there's something too reflective near you, it'll see the reflection of your hands and get confused. But it is at the point where I would call it good enough. It's good enough to be a consumer product. And if you're getting a VR headset, I think it's a must own. Even if it doesn't get super broad game support, it's not very expensive. I ordered it for $27 out of China. I think it's $50 normally. Or maybe it's just on sale right now. So like between $50 and $75. Definitely
Nice.
worth it.
I wonder how much it is on Amazon right now.
I don't know.
I now have Prime, and apparently the cops think it's a crime because they're coming to my house.
I suppose we could probably solve this question right now on the show.
That's why I got one of these. Oh wait, you can't see what I'm doing.
Amazon Prime wants $53.88. So, and it's almost out of stock because people are finally buying them.
Well, send me your link. I'll buy it from there.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, like, if you're getting VR, just get it. It's really cool. There's already a whole bunch of demos for it. They've announced that there's big support updates for all kinds of stuff that we don't know yet coming over the next few months. So very, like, something I didn't expect to see this generation of VR is hand presence. And it's here before VR even launches. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so, I mean, they had that when I first moved to Washington here. And I was really excited for that thing. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to use this, but I'm on it. I'm going to buy it. I should have just bought it then because they had it at Best Buy for like $17 in the end. Just trying to offload that stuff.
Them out.
Yeah. And I bet you it's the same hardware.
It is. There's only one piece of hardware right now. So no matter when it's from, if you get Elite Motion, it will work with the new Orion update. You just download that from their website and you're good to go.
Sweet. Now, ideally but originally I think that little white bar is meant to go on your desk, right? You kind of interact with it above your desk.
Yeah, or like on the top of your monitor. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. As soon as I got it, it went straight on the Oculus because I'm not going to use any of the other stuff. So.
Oh yeah, of course not. Sweet. Well, that's dope, man.
Yeah, very cool. So hopefully I'll have time this week to put together a little video review and kind of show that, and I'll stick that on the YouTube channel if that's the case.
Yeah, I'll look forward to checking that out.
Yeah. Beyond that, I went over to my friend's house and drank some beers and played the newest Need for Speed game on PS4.
Ooh, that's which one is that one? Just Need for Speed?
Just Need for Speed. Which, for making it come off like it's a reboot, it sure is a lot like the last Need for Speed game, just with some refinements. But it's fine. It's really good looking. It's probably the best looking game I've seen on the PS4. When I walked into his house, there was just a picture of a Ferrari on the screen, and we were hanging out for like a half hour before I went, wait, you didn't just pause like Top Gear or something? That's a video game. He's like, yeah. So that's a pretty good endorsement right there, I think. But yeah, I mean, if you want an open world racing game to screw around with, you could definitely do worse. It's pretty decent.
True.
Oh, have you played it, Dylan?
Crew?
Oh, I thought you said True.
No.
Sounds like The Crew.
You could do worse. Yeah.
I was just about to ask if there's a good racing game on the PlayStation 4 yet.
There's only a handful of good games, in my opinion, on the PlayStation 4, period. So I got to say I'm kind of disappointed in that. But we'll come to this later on when we have more conversations on the topic.
Yeah, well, if you're looking for simmy stuff, no. I mean, if you want a racing sim, you've got iRacing, you've got Assetto Corsa, I guess Project Cars on the PC, but I don't think there's anything on the PS4.
Sweet.
I think Project Cars is on the PS4.
Is it?
I think it jumped to it, yeah.
I think it is. I think I actually own it.
All right, well, yeah, that would be the one then. Yep, you guys are right. It totally is, and has been for like a year.
Sweet.
So, all right. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. There's one more thing, but I don't remember what it is. It doesn't matter, so don't worry about it.
All right. Dylan, do tell.
Well, I've been busy adulting a lot this week, so...
You and
but
Rob
what little
both
time...
talking, doing adult stuff on the podcast. Come on, man. We're family fucking friendly, all right?
Oh, sorry. Right, I forgot. I was positively contributing to society as we know it.
Yeah, Alex has the right idea there.
I don't think the courts are going to see it that way, Dylan.
Oh...
They're just going to see that Fu Manchu.
So I've been busy a lot. I actually drove for about 3.5 hours today for work. So that was my entire afternoon at work. But,
you were playing The Crew?
Yeah, right. No, I've gotten some more time into NBA 2K16 for the PC. That's going well. And I've been playing some games with my roommate Lambert, who we played through Dead Nation, I think.
Oh, you talked about that.
Very slowly.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, we almost lost all your information and probably did lose some information. Here's a shitty game for you. Thanks, PlayStation.
Yeah. So we were just like, hey, it's something we can play.
Indeed.
So we played that, and
I
that was
keep
all right.
confusing that with Dead State.
Like Dead Island?
Based RPG. So I'm like, I really want to play that. And then I'm like, oh, no, I don't. I want to play Dead State.
Not Dead Nation.
Not Dead Nation.
Yeah, no.
I think
But that and... What's up?
I think it's called Dead State anyway.
I know it's the one with like the flag pointing down on the icon.
Yes, it is. It is. It's
Yeah.
Dead State, the one that was in production for like 10 years.
That's a lot of years to be in production.
Yeah.
Indeed. And the only other thing I can think of would be Dynasty Warriors 8. I've been putting some more time into that finally.
It still makes me laugh that you play that game, bro. Like, what is it about it that kind of grabbed you?
I don't know, just beating the living crap out of everyone. I don't know. There is the ability to make your own hero and then pretty much run an empire as him, and it's kind of fun.
I always just ran around and beat the shit out of people. That's all I ever did in the game.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do, to a degree. There's actual strategy in it and stuff.
Sweet. What's the strategy?
Indeed it is.
Just hit people?
Pretty freaking sweet. No, it's really not that bad. Like, if you get the strategy down and stuff, it's actually kind of a fun game. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing, really. And, taking care of work.
Taking
Taking care of business.
Yep.
Dealing with your new roommate, who hopefully we're going to meet next week, possibly.
Yeah.
Well, he's
we
already
know
been
him.
on.
We'll
his
meet his
ferret
face.
was on.
His ferret was on.
That's right. So the ferret didn't make the move, I take it.
No, it did.
Oh, it
The
did
ferret-
make
The ferret is
Oh.
there.
Okay.
And go grab him if you want me to go grab him.
Yeah, how long will it take? I'm down.
We'll let him introduce.
Okay,
You know what? That'll
yeah,
be good.
that's
We'll
good.
let him introduce the ferret. It's his ferret.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? So we'll let him do the
Hey,
ferret.
Rob, can I leave that ferret at your house, actually?
No, I don't think my dog would like that.
You have a guinea pig.
I don't think my guinea pig would like that at all. I think that would end poorly for my guinea pig.
Do ferrets eat guinea pigs? Is that a thing?
I would think so.
Carnivores.
Ferrets are predatory.
Yeah, and but not this one. This one's
Every other ferret in the world is predatory, but this one.
Yeah,
He
this
sure
one does
attacked that
not.
Mike.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know, but
Man, ferret. Yeah, we'll have to meet the ferret next week when Rob is going to be gone and leaving us alone. But hey, you know what they say? When Rob's away, the ferret's at play, so we can just have a good time.
That is what they say.
indeed.
Common colloquialism right there.
Yeah.
So if Dylan's done, I think, dude, you probably shouldn't stick your vape in your nose. I'm just throwing it out there. I've been playing more Street Fighter. I'm just reaffirming the fact that I suck at that game severely. I won 3 matches online. Only 3. Wait, sorry, no, I won 3 rounds. I haven't won a match yet. That's right. That's the actual answer. I get so close. I get them down, and then like something shuts off in my brain, and I forget what defense is, and I just go whole hog to get that extra sliver. And I literally had a guy. I was gonna perfect this motherfucker, and then all of a sudden, like I'm gonna win, and then it didn't. I didn't win. Like he took me down all the way from like a sliver of life done because I was like I can't hit him this one more time. It made me sad. That game is hard. I don't know if you guys play that. Alex, are you a fighting game guy?
No, not really. That requires reaction time. I can't press the space bar to pause. Don't have that.
So, Dylan, I know you'd play, right?
Yeah.
You should pick
Actually,
that up. Play with me.
Lambert won't even play me in Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Yeah, he won't play me in Mortal Kombat.
You should pick up Street Fighter and we should play.
Maybe.
I was not surprised at all when I saw the headline the other day that said they were like, we're taking very serious steps to solve the rage quitting crisis in this game. I was like, yeah, I fucking bet you are.
You better
I am
be.
not surprised at all that people rage quit that game because you go online and play someone who's good at fighting games, it sucks. You just get stuffed.
Yeah, I didn't have so much luck with a lot of them, but also a lot of them I had a lot of really bad connections. Like,
Yeah, I remember that. We were playing. Remember?
what?
We played online at the same time.
We played online at the same time?
Not together. But we were on PlayStation Network.
Don't talk about Street Fighter, bro.
I thought you were talking about Mortal Kombat still.
No, Street Fighter.
Well, then screw you.
Okay.
Stupid dumb.
You come over here, we can get that going. I'm not making any promises, but you come over here, we'll see what
Hey.
happens.
We'll
Quit
see, but
making
see, that's
plans
where
to
you lost
adult.
me, bro. I need promises, man. I need some reassurance and some.
What, I gotta put a
bona fide
ring on it?
security. Just saying.
But yeah, I'm playing. There's a bare finger. Is that what you're showing me?
Yeah.
That's okay. You can't see mine, but married. Yeah, I don't think the state likes it when you try to have more than one of those.
Yeah. Polygamy is somehow frowned upon or something.
Yeah, I'm in a state that borders Utah, so
there you
not
are.
unheard of around here.
Well, Idaho, I don't think it's very common, but Utah maybe. But yeah, I had these matches where I don't know what they were seeing. I must have just been sitting still for them. Because in my game, they were teleporting everywhere. I was teleporting everywhere, but they were just kicking the ever-loving shit out of me, dude. Like,
yeah, that must be it, Jordan.
I'm going to stream this shit. I'm going to record it. I'm going to show you. I'm not that bad, asshole.
Sure. I completely believe you 100%.
Wink. I heard the wink, Rob. I can see you crossing your fingers. As they slowly come up, but yeah, that's really what's got me. I've been trying to get better at that because I wanna feel like I can contribute in a Star Citizen game. Wow, that was a weird cross up. I want that game to actually exist, but I want to feel like I contribute to a Street Fighter game because I've never been very good at them, and I don't know. It's a challenge that I wanna take on, and I want to at least win a fucking match instead of just a round. You know what I'm saying? But that's been it for me. Again, busy life. And yeah, so we're going to move on to Extra Points, the part of the podcast where we talk about the non-video game related thing. Maybe a book, maybe some music. Maybe Dylan found an interesting bump on his body he wants to talk about. We don't know yet, but I think we're going to go in reverse order this time. So Alex, wait, that's the same order. Alex, anyway, you're up. What's your extra point this week?
Extra point, but a non-video game thing. I have been working my way back through Dune. Now, I know this is supposed to be pop culture and everything, but I'm a little bit retro. How big of fans of the Dune series are you guys? That's the giant sandworms thing.
Yeah, I can say that the slow blade penetrates the shield, if that does anything for you.
Yeah, and don't shoot it with a laser.
Yes, no.
I actually, so I've seen the old David Lynch movie. I got the book. Yeah, not his finest work. I got the book for Christmas, and it's actually my next book on my list to read through. So I'm reading Red Rising right now, and then Dune is actually up. So my brother who gave it to me just got into it as well, and he's like, dude, read this. It's awesome. Totally holds up.
My strong recommendation is to stick to what Brian wrote, not what his son Frank writes.
Oh.
Yeah, and then someone else, there's some other writer or two that came in after that that's supposedly even worse, right? Like a Star Wars.
I don't know. It's pretty bad. Okay. He had a vision and his son doesn't share it, I think. It's the easiest way to really say it. It's just, it turns into a random action novel that you can't read anything further into after the first one. But the first one's really good. I think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Does the movie follow it pretty closely? I've never actually read Dune.
No. I do recommend reading it. Imagine feudalism in space. You know, it's really, really interesting the way he sets up the world. And the movie does get a few things right, but they really took it on a much more acid, trippy direction than what I think was originally intended.
Yeah, David Lynch.
I haven't seen the movie in a long time, and for good reason.
Blue
so
Eyes,
I can't
Patrick
give
Stewart,
specifics.
and Spice. That's all I remember. That and a failed suicide or a failed murder attempt.
Yeah, and I mean he got the major plot points right, but other than that, he didn't get the feel across. It doesn't feel. It's like, have you ever seen the animated Lord of the Rings?
Yes, Ralph Bakshi.
For kids, yeah.
I was just referencing those the other day as the, I'm a terrible person. At the place I work at, this lady came in, and she moved a lot like the Lord of the Rings version. So it wasn't Ralph Bakshi who did Lord of the Rings. He did the Return of the King and the Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
The other one, the one in the middle that was the weird animation, this lady moved like the ring wraiths, and I was just like... This is like, yeah, that's a ring wraith. That's fantastic. Thanks. But that gave me nightmares as a kid when I saw it.
Oh yeah. Like the thing about those movies is that they didn't know what demographic they were going for. They wanted to be true to the books and show all the blood and gore and guts and stuff, but they wanted to make it for kids.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I feel about the Dune movie. They wanted to make a movie for action fans, and the book is not that kind of book.
I'll have to look into that. I'm already ordering Deadpool, like a few Deadpool books online. Maybe I'll just add that to my my cart and take a look at it, because I've heard it's a very, very good book.
Oh yeah, you could pick it up pretty darn cheap on eBay too.
Sweet.
It seems right up your alley, Jordan. My brother, who recommended it to me, is a huge Game of Thrones fan. So
Maybe I'll go audiobook.
Yeah, it's right there. Yep.
yeah.
Maybe I'll start an Audible account. Do they have an audiobook on it, I wonder?
Oh,
I'm sure they do.
Plenty, probably more than one.
Because I have way more time to listen to audiobooks than I do to actually sit down and read. So, sweet. Well, thank you,
I
Alex.
like to put them on a bookshelf.
Yeah, well, I don't have any more room on the bookshelves right now, so.
We would know that if we could see you.
Well, they can see me. They can see the bookshelves behind me. They're fucking stacked. Look at that shit. Those aren't even my books. My books are over there. That's my wife's books. That's thousands of manga. Right behind me. Yeah, she has a problem. So, Rob.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about, it's not even a movie or anything. It's just an email that I got. That
Are you the inheritance of the Prince of Nigeria's fortune?
No, but it's funny because I got this. So I bought a Louis C.K. live show several years ago, and since then he sends out emails and he writes them just like, I don't know if they're really off the cuff or if they're just supposed to sound like they're off the cuff, but it's like, hey, this is just a thing I'm doing, and you bought a thing for me, so I'm sending this email out. So sometimes it's cool. Like when I got to see him live, it's because I got this email from him, and it's like, hey, people who bought stuff from me get first dibs at tickets. So I followed that. But this week, he's talking about his TV show, Horace and Pete, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet. But I'm reading through the email, and then at the end, there's this P.S. Please stop it with voting for Trump. And then there's 3 pages of rant about Donald Trump that is so fucking hilarious and true. I mean, it was it made national news. It was all over the place because people were like, yeah, that is true. So if you haven't had a chance, just look it up. It's easy to find online. And even if you're not political, it's just funny. But it was so good. It's the best thing I've read in a really, really long time. So just check it out.
Sweet. All right. Dylan, how about you, sir?
Lambert actually got me into speaking of manga. Claymore.
Oh yeah, beast hunting and killing and the like.
Well, he's been doing a lot of working on things with video games, like trying to figure out if he wanted to make his own. And one of his bigger inspirations comes from Castlevania and Devil May Cry. Now, if you follow Devil May Cry, eventually through the plot, they get to a certain point, and then kind of just falls off. Well, this series kind of takes the idea, the same premise of where the game left off, and runs with it. It's not in parallel with Devil May Cry, so it's not like, hey, this is Devil May Cry, but it's something that would be similar to it, and it's pretty cool.
Have you seen the Devil May Cry the manga series? It's so good.
Now, what came first there?
Pretty sure the game came first for Devil May Cry.
Okay. All I know about that game is that really funny clip from it. Have you guys ever seen that? It's it always shows up on worst gaming moments of all time.
Is it the hair thing?
Let me be the one to fill your dark soul with light. You guys ever seen that?
No, but
it's
can fill
really
my
funny.
dark soul with light anytime.
It is the worst writing / voice acting combination I've ever seen, and by video game standards even. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
So I hear people tell me that game was really good, but yeah, just that moment's really funny.
The games are fun if you like fighting, smashy, hit the buttons fasty, God of War style games.
It's a spectacle fighter, yeah.
Yeah, but with a kind of a creeping horror setting too, isn't it?
A creepy horror?
Yeah, not really meant to be taken seriously as far as I'm aware. But
yeah, not really.
Okay.
It's just meant to be cool and badass. It's like shit, my brain just shut off. Not
That
metal,
sucks.
Not Metalocalypse. Heavy Metal.
Oh yeah.
Sort of like that. I think more the Adventures of Hellsing, if you've ever seen that anime. How, there's always gruesome stuff, but they always got shot in the face.
Always.
Yeah, Helsing, that's the one with Alucard
Yeah.
wearing the red outfit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I own that, or at least the original run of that in anime form. Like anime. My wife does too. It works. We actually, my wife and I actually met because of one word. Naruto. We're nerds. Like, we met on Match.com. That's the only reason. But sweet. So I guess Dylan, you just went. So who's next? Is that
You.
me?
I don't think it matters. I think we can move on.
Sweet. Well, my no. So I went ahead and had an
Bob
accident.
Dole wants his peanut butter.
Yeah.
Mm.
I had an accident with my keyboard this week, and so I ended up buying a new one. And I got myself a Corsair Strafe RGB. Yeah, I know yours is waterproof.
It's washable.
Mine's not, but mine's much more pretty. I would show you, but you couldn't see it anyway. You wouldn't be able to appreciate the glory that is the keyboard that I have.
That's true.
You can
Does
always
it
go
click
back
and clack?
No, actually. So it isn't mechanical, but they're silent switches. So I
That's
like.
not very satisfying.
Oh, it's fucking great because I hate that hard snap of mechanicals. I don't know what it is. Like, people are like, "Oh no, it's great. I love it. That's why you buy those." I'm like, "No, I buy them for the action. If I can get away from that sound, I'm good. Like, just don't dig it." So I got this guy. It is what are they? Mechanical cherry reds, I believe. Yep. And it is full RGB, so I can change every color on this thing. It's basically an upgraded version of what I had before. I had the K65 by them. But I found out that after I bought that, you really need a 10 key in everyday life. Like, it's good to have that numpad. And the K65 did not have it. So upgrading to this guy, it has it. And it just looks better. The keys are lighted very, very well. You can see the letters and the numbers and everything when the keyboard light is off, which you couldn't see on the K65 because of how it was designed. And another interesting little thing this thing has is on your if you play MOBAs, your home row for MOBA and your WASD keys, they come with these textured, angled, and raised keys that you can put on this keyboard so you can feel where your fingers are immediately. Like, I don't know about you guys, but every once in a while I'll try to do something after putting my hand on the keyboard real quickly and I'm off by a set of keys. This really helps with that because I can just feel, bam, right there. It's good.
That'd be good for VR too.
Right? And that's kind of what I was thinking is, like, I can feel where these are. I don't need to look. So if I have a few keys that I put there that are, the keys I need, then good. I can feel them all, and I'm, no, kitty, you can't leave. I'm good to go. So I picked that up, and then I also, I had Best Buy credits that were going to, like, go away. So I just spent them all on new rig stuff. And I ended up getting the 502 Proteus Core Chroma, I think is what it's called. Which is
that?
It's a mouse. It is. I replaced my G700S with the 502 Chroma, or is it Chroma? I don't know. Where's the box? Proteus Spectrum. That is what it's called. Sorry. I can actually give me 1 second here. Let me. Got myself wedged in here. Bada bing. So yeah, mouse. Woohoo! Or you guys can't see, but the viewer can. And here it is, kind of. Nice little mouse. Thing about it is it's got these weights in the, but it's kind of fun. It's you put them in. I have it all weight. Feels nice, and it's just a nice little mouse. Like the rating is good. The repeat is good. I enjoy everything about it. And I thought I wasn't going to like it because it only had 2 keys on the side, and I'm coming from a 4-key on the side mouse. But it does have a third key that I didn't see that does a shift, so it actually lets me have multiple sets on all these buttons. So I actually have more inputs that I can use. But yeah, so that's what I did. I think at this point we're going to take a quick break due to the fact that my cat is trying to claw his way out underneath the door, and I'm sure we just need a little 5-minute bit. So stick around. We're going to talk about, what is it, the Windows Unified protocol. What is it? UWP.
UWP,
Yeah.
Universal Windows Protocol or something. I'll look it up.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that.
Platform.
Platform. That's what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
I had it open in front of me, and then I closed everything down for a reboot, and I never opened up all my research again. So we're gonna come stick around. We're gonna see that and have a discussion. So 5 minutes, maybe less. We'll be back. Sweet. And we're back. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed that break. Got yourself some juice. Maybe licked a lizard, kicked a kitten, smelled a puppy. What some of those weird things that we know you guys do that you never talk about in public. And we're back. Thanks for sticking around. You know what I should probably do is mute my audio on the stream because I just interrupted myself. So here we are to talk about the Universal Windows platform, which if you take it the way the public took it initially, is kind of closing down how PC gaming is developed for. And PC has been a habitually and historically open platform for games. That's why a lot of people stick to PCs. You have mods, you have you can tweak your game to work the way you want it to on your computer because everybody's different. Everybody has a different setup. With this UWP system, it's supposed to be a means to develop for Windows that would allow it to both be published to the Xbox system as well as the Windows Media Store or Windows or Microsoft Store.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic, right? I mean, cross-platform play, cross-save, maybe even cross-buy. Maybe that'd be a fantastic thing. But the stipulations that are put on these executables kind of are getting some people up in arms. Rob, maybe you'd be a little better to start this off as to what they're actually talking about there with this more closed system.
Yeah. So here's the reason I'm taking this seriously. Tim Sweeney, he's from Epic Games, obviously has a great relationship with Microsoft. You know, they were second party for Microsoft for a while. They did the Gears of War games. Very tight. So to go public and write this huge open letter about what a disaster this is, or at least has the potential to be, tells me that this is something he was really, really, really worried about. I mean, otherwise it would have been a phone call to Microsoft, you know. But to publicly call them out and make a big hubbub about this tells me that there's legitimate reason to be concerned here. So on paper, yeah, this sounds great. The Universal Windows platform is a great way for people who have an Xbox or maybe don't have an Xbox to play games on both platforms. It's great for developers who want to have an easy way to bring to publish their game on both systems. And another thing Microsoft's been talking about, Phil Spencer hinted that, you know, maybe there will be new Xbox hardware that comes out and the old games will still work on it. So there's a lot of advantages to this, but the disadvantage is it's run through Microsoft's walled garden.
Well,
now,
what about those consoles they're talking about? Because they're also talking about the fact that look at all the technology that we have today that's popular, that's iterative, right? You don't wait for 8 years for the next iPhone. You don't wait for the next years for the next iPad or Android. You wait 7 to 12 months. Now,
right.
If they're going to start putting out systems like every 12 months like clockwork, that's going to piss some people off. I'm already pissed off at my purchase of the Xbox One.
Well, I mean, some people are going to be pissed off no matter what. But to me, if all the games that are released for the Xbox platform still work on the other Xbox, there's no issue. Like if it's just a case of you buy the newer one, the graphics are a little better, or whatever, a better frame rate, then I don't see the problem there. But the reason this is a problem for the PC is once you have this Windows Store that is a curated closed garden, you cannot download these files or these types of files outside of that ecosystem. Competition goes away.
And you need competition, like,
right? If you can't buy this type of game on Steam and on Origin and on GOG, that's a big problem. Now, in response, Kevin Gallo, corporate vice president of Windows at Microsoft, said that it is a fully open ecosystem. That makes me go like, why? If that's the case, how come Tim Sweeney didn't know this? Well, why is everyone so confused? So it's just weird. It's a weird thing that's going on.
You're nodding over there, Alex. What's your input on this?
Well, the way it seems to me, UWP is Microsoft's attempt to do what they tried to do in Windows 8. They had new features for Windows 8 that you could only use if you used Windows 8's protocol. I think it was called UWP back then as well, and actually Gabe Newell came out against it and said that it was absolutely horrible and no gamer should go out and buy Windows 8.
That's where SteamOS came from.
Right, exactly. Steam wanted to separate its hold on the PC gaming market from Microsoft because it saw the way that Microsoft was going with the UWP platform. So in the future now, if a developer wants to take advantage of some of the new features available on Windows 10 to them, and I'm not a programmer, I don't know what they all are, new security features, new fancy processing software or something, I have no idea. But if they want to take advantage of that, they need to program things in the way that Microsoft wants them programmed because, otherwise they won't work on Microsoft's software. So what Tim Sweeney is afraid of is that the old way of developing things with the Windows 32 protocol will go away and be pushed out by this new UWP protocol, which is really just Microsoft's way of saying, hey, we own like 90% of the operating system market. Why do we not own 90% of the PC gaming market? Like, we provide all these gamers with products already. Why are they not buying their games through us? So they're offering a carrot on a stick for publishers to want to use UWP to the detriment of the consumer, of course. But that's how these things work.
Yeah, because when you look at things like it has to be full screen borderless, it has to be 60 locked, Vsync has to be on. What if you have a G-Sync monitor? That's not going to work. You have to turn Vsync off for that. What if you have a system that you played out the nose for, the guy above me, which is Dylan, if those of you playing the home game, you threw out quite a bit of money to try to get your stuff so you can go over 60 frames. The fuck good is that going to do you? Like, what is the, and I understand that to have this protocol enables you to develop for both the Xbox and the Windows platform, which is fantastic. When it comes to multi-platform games, I think it'll be a boon because you won't have oh, maybe it'll be better on this, maybe it'll be better on that, because it'll be developed in a way that you can have it good on both systems. Now, the question is whether this is going to become a standard for PC gaming as a whole and not just cross-platform. Because if it's cross-platform, I have no problem with that. If Microsoft first party wants to develop their stuff so that I can play it on both my Xbox and my PC and I have a seamless transition between those two, that's fine. It's when you have developers developing solely for PC that may have to give in to this I think that's where the problem lies. How about you, Dylan? What's your input here?
I'm in agreement with you guys. I think that I don't necessarily think this is a good idea. I think that there are several, parallels we can draw.
No, kitty.
Yeah, no, kitty. Stop it, kitty.
Yeah, he's trying to get up on the desk.
Do that, kitty. No, kitty. No, there are several parallels we can draw, but one of the big things that comes to mind for me would just be they're putting everything in this one basket now as gamers. We like that diversity of we even referenced it earlier this podcast about various places where we could go to get the same game. Now, as a whole, isn't the ability or I don't know, freedom to sell stuff just kind of an implicit thing? Like if I make something and I can sell it to you, isn't that?
We still have to have licenses and stuff.
Well,
depending.
Yeah, and like Alex said,
the basic idea of that.
Yeah.
It's the concept of being an entrepreneur, period.
Yeah, but you still have to give in to the way things are done. And that's what we're talking about here. Like, you can't just go and you can't say, hey.
Like, this is where that line is, and I do not agree with what they're doing. Like, you can't do this. You don't force people to make, what is it, the safe, I can't remember the extension they use.
UWP?
I thought it was a different one. I'm sorry. But, I don't know if... Go ahead.
I don't understand why this has to be what the UWP is and why it can't just be a certification. Like Microsoft used to do games for Windows.
And
Now,
we loved that.
It was stupid. No, not games for Windows Live. Not games for Windows Live. Everyone agrees that was garbage. But games for Windows was a certification that you could stick a sticker on your box that says this game has this, and this feature that are approved by Microsoft.
Oh, like the Nintendo seal of approval.
Sure.
See, you want them to go more Nintendo than Apple.
Or like a certified used car. You know what I mean? It just shows that these games hit
it's definitely used
specifications.
Yeah, I can guarantee this has been used. Look, there's a cigarette burn right there.
And they could just require that you hit those to be able to sell in the Microsoft Store while still allowing the format to be used by anyone and to allow people to allow those games to be sold on Steam or wherever. So I see ways around it, and I kind of see why Tim Sweeney would be so worried if it's not obvious that they're offering any of those options. Although, like I said, this quote from Kevin Gallo kind of messes everything up because he's like, no, we are. But I haven't seen any other evidence that that's the case aside from just that one quote from him saying that it will be an open platform.
I think this does need to be stated that nobody really knows what's involved in this UWP. They've rolled out Windows 10, but they haven't actually rolled out the full implementation of this UWP yet. They haven't actually announced and given examples of what's going to be involved in all of this stuff. So really we just have one person in the industry who's presumably being told what he needs to do to get his next game ready, you know? And then we have another person in the industry who's really interested in selling us a product. So, you know, we have two people who are interested and invested in this industry, and they're the only two people with any information at all. And really, I think we just need to wait and see what happens at this point. It also needs to be said that Windows 10, as of right now, is a much bigger success than Windows 8 ever was.
Yeah, hands down. It is a much better operating system.
It also needs to be said that you cannot turn off automatic updates.
That is annoying. So
if Microsoft wants to roll this out, they have the ability to, and you can't do squat about it if you have Windows 10.
Well, they were talking about going more like the Apple route, which this is kind of leading into that, right? I mean, Apple has a very, very controlled architecture. They have a very controlled infrastructure. If you want to develop for Apple, you have a lot of hoops you have to jump through. You have a lot of things that you have to have, and it's a pain in the butt. I mean, look how much gaming you have on Mac first party or Mac first run, right?
But I mean, iOS is a closed device, and it's a walled garden. And it still does great. I mean, I think there are platforms that should be closed gardens. The Xbox, an open Xbox would be a disaster. You'd have viruses and
it's a console.
It'd be crashing. But that's my point. They're
innately closed.
The reason everyone's scared and the reason we're talking about this, even though we clearly have so little information, there's no way to know what's happening, is just the prospect of the PC becoming closed is fucking terrifying because the PC is better than it's ever been. It's so good right now that it would be a disaster if Microsoft screwed it up. So
I'll be so mad.
I think just having this conversation puts pressure on them, even if they were just considering going that route. I think the reaction to this has made it pretty clear, like, okay, we can't do that. We're not going to get away with that. So it's good. It's good that Tim Sweeney wrote this and that Gabe Newell came out a few years ago. And basically, I think SteamOS was made with every intention of not being a success as an operating system, but just to scare Microsoft straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's insurance for Valve.
Yeah.
I mean, if Microsoft does decide to pull the plug on this whole open community thing and wall off their own little ecosystem, Valve has a backup plan. You know, it's insurance.
It's Linux.
It's the just-in-case switch, right?
I thought you'd be going back to Linux for your gaming.
Well, I mean, not everyone's a programmer.
Exactly. That's the problem. Yes, but I think we're all kind of saying the same thing. We're kind of hesitant about it. We can see either way. But man, I'm a doom and gloom kind of guy. This is gonna fuck PC gaming. I'm just throwing it out there.
They said that about Windows 8. I mean,
and consoles surged.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Everybody's freaking out about Microsoft trying to make PCs into more of a console, but Steam is doing the same thing right now with its Steam boxes. And I know that's kind of flubbed and failed, but they've released their own controller. They're releasing their own Steam boxes, and you better be sure they're going to integrate that with Steam somehow. Why not have Steam certify, hey, this game runs on this Steam box, but not this one or this one or this one or this one, you know? It's the exact same sort of thing that Microsoft is trying to do. It's just Steam isn't there yet, so we're not freaking out. But Microsoft is here now, and so that's what we're freaking out about.
Yeah, and I also think we have precedent for Valve being pro open platform. Even though Steam is a walled garden, they've done a lot of work to make it less walled and to lower the barriers of entry. And Microsoft has fucked up a lot of times in the past and made terrible decisions.
Wait,
over and over and over again.
Microsoft made bad choices?
I mean, part of it, yeah. I hate to get into like corporate fanboyism because they all want your money at the end of the day, but I just think historically, Microsoft, you don't trust them as much as Valve. They haven't quite earned the goodwill that Valve has. So that's not to say Valve couldn't do something terrible and close down the platform, but as far as I know, SteamOS is still a completely open operating system. You can still install anything. You don't have to buy anything through Steam. There's no indication that they want to head that direction with it. So, I see the worry there with both of them, but definitely Microsoft worries me a lot more.
Well, it's just such a far-reaching thing. Steam, literally, like you can buy games and not play them on Steam. It's harder to have a computer that doesn't have Windows. Like as a mainstream consumer, right? Like that's really what you're gonna get into unless you come visit me at my store, and then I'll make you leave with a Mac. Just throwing it out there. But only time will tell, I think. Which, we'll find out. I mean, gamers are notoriously loud, so if there's something to push back against, we'll push back. I'm not sure how much it'll help, but you never know. I don't want to see anything get in the way of my open-ended platform here on the PC, because that's why I still use a PC, is for that customization, is for that ability to do all those things.
I think you need to look at gamers as the trailblazers for the most part when it comes to the PC market. Gamers revolted against Windows 8. Windows 8 failed. Gamers revolted around games for Windows Live. Guess what's not around anymore? To a large extent, gamers are the ones who test out the new hardware, like your Oculus Rift. And guess what? If gamers accept it, it's going to continue. And if they don't like it, I mean, that's one less market, and it's a really big market that spends a lot of money for your product.
Right.
So I think when it comes to PC gaming, what the gamers think about your product, your idea, your initiative really does matter a lot. Microsoft would be silly to not listen to them again.
Yeah, well put.
I agree. Well, let's go round robin here, finish it up. I think, Alex, that was a pretty good starter for you, so we're going to go to Rob there.
Yeah, I think I've said my piece on this. I am worried about it, but I think that Microsoft does respond to pressure, as we saw with the Xbox One, and they have pressure on them now. So I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic that this will all be okay. We can find the happy medium where developers get their universal Windows platform that works on the console and on the PC, and that the PC ecosystem stays healthy and vibrant like it is right now.
Sweet. Mr. Dylan Smith, final thoughts, sir.
Well, again, Alex brings up a very valid point, a very solid point, and I guess I am with Rob. I'm concerned now, but it's not. I'm not. I am no longer the doom and gloom, as some people may or may not be.
Sweet. Well, I'm still doom and gloomy, so I
was looking down at you.
Oh, is that what was going on?
That was not me showing off how bald I am.
Oh,
that was me looking down.
I thought you were showing me that wisdom has grown, but hair has receded.
Indeed.
Well, I'm still doom and gloomy. I like to play devil's advocate, and I don't think I can in this case. I think I'm just going to go with everybody else and be like, ah! Like it's scary shit, man. We'll see how it goes, but only time will tell. And of course, if this stuff does happen here at the Game Lab Podcast, we'll keep you updated. So, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. Just do some closing stuff. Like, if you need to find us, you can get us at gameoutloudpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us at Twitter at gameoutloudcast. Our entire backlog is available at gameoutloudpodcast.com. And Alex, if you can tell our listeners where they can find you again.
youtube.com/C/OUR_ALEX.
Awesome. So make sure to go check him out there. Look forward to Rob, making him commit to this, putting out that little demo there with his little handset. And hopefully once I get Dylan set up on stream and me on stream, we'll get some more stuff up there. And The Division is releasing in 3 hours from now. So we are going to be playing that. I might get some footage up of that later.
Reviewing it next week.
Yeah, that's coming up next week. So if you want to hear about The Division, stick around. I'm debating on trying to mix up things a little bit and try to put some video footage in here while we're doing that. But we'll see if I just cause everything to explode. Because we know when I touch stuff, it doesn't work. But go ahead and we'll see you next week. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one.